What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm gonna take around, introduce you to the cars. It's exciting stuff. So, this is the Blazer. This is Johnny. It's an 02 Chevy Blazer 2-door. It's currently getting fuel lines done on it right now, which is going super fun. This is Kara's first car. It's dope. It's a fun little truck, nothing too exciting. It's been the first one of these that I worked on, and yeah, so far no complaints. Next up is this sorry thing. This is Sarge, the Buick, 1998 Buick Regal. I ended up buying 12 years ago. Had 226,000 miles on it. When I bought it, it's got about 400 now. It's hard to say because the LEDs in the dash have given up. But it's not running right now. The engine's fine, but as you can see, it's got a really bad rust issue here. It's wildly far gone. But this was the first car that I bought it back in like 2010. Now I've taken this thing all over the country, so he's a good boy. It's off to Valhalla soon. This is kind of this is Ratchet. This is the 1992-ish Mazda Miata, the turbo. This is the most fun car. This is the one that gets me in the most trouble. It's got a bunch of mods. I'm gonna do, in-depth video eventually, I guess. But TD04 19T. It's got an upgraded cold side on it, full turbo kit, speedy EFI ECU running right now. It's fun. It feels a lot quicker than it is by modern standards. And it's a blast to drive. I've still got a lot of stuff to do to it, so that's gonna be fun. Hopefully get some of that on the channel too. But yeah, this thing, I built the whole thing from the tub up. I had one originally. It was a 1990. This needs to be reupholstered. Don't judge me. Yeah, I had a 90, and then I wrecked that one, and with doing some low credit score behavior. But yeah, I wrecked that one, and then I bought a tub off of a guy in Long Island, and we built it all from scratch in my driveway. Took everything off and put it back in, everything but the windshield. This is the Volvo, the Swedish luxury tractor. Got this thing a couple years ago, longer now than it feels. Honestly, it feels like I just got it. It's the newest car to the fleet. I need some air there. But yeah, it's a 1992 Volvo 740 wagon. It's not super exciting. It's the slowest car that I've ever driven, but the dashboard looks nice. Some of the interior in this is actually really, really mint. I bought this thing with a friend of mine, sight unseen, for $300 in Virginia. I just PayPal'd them the money. They sent me the title. I got plates for it, and then we just drove down to Virginia and said, worst case, the thing doesn't run, we'll leave it on the side of the highway. So limped it home. Did the timing belt. The timing was like 2 degrees retarded or something like that. It was like 2 teeth off. So it had even less power than it normally would. So we poked that a bit, got that squared away, just did coil packs on it, and now it's kind of running smooth. The transmission's being really annoying, but I still have to look into that. I would love to build this thing into a drift car eventually, just because I just like a drift wagon. I've always kind of wanted one. It seems like a pretty easy platform. Everyone that I've talked to that works on 240s, 740s, stuff like that, the Volvo though is all assure me that it's all pretty much Lego. You can swap the transmissions and stuff pretty easily without massive ton of fab work. which I could do. It's just I don't have a ton of time, and I'm not like a professional, so fab work intimidates me greatly. I've only ever had to build a couple of things to make things nice and smooth. And then I guess last but not least is Sheila, the 94 Miata. This is Kara's. We bought this when the Blazer originally had a problem where it was eating its intake manifold gasket, as they are wont to do. This is Kara's fun sticker there. But yeah, we added when the Blazer was down, it was blowing coolant into one of the cylinders and getting a really bad miss, and then it hydrolocked, and so she took it to a shop, and the shop was like, hey man, it's gonna be like $1,800, you need a new engine, blah 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 blah. And I was like, look, I've swapped an engine before, like, you know, just have them send it home with us. So I read up a bunch on it and found that that was a pretty big problem. I dealt with it with the Buick also, with the orange Dexron coolant or whatever. If you let the car sit for a while, it'll eat the gaskets because of like the propylene glycol levels or the ethylene glycol. I don't remember. I got it confused when I was vaping. But so yeah, that was like a $40 fix to keep that thing on the road, which was pretty good. Then, well, yeah, that thing got sitting, and I wasn't sure if we were going to end up hanging on to it, so we had to get something else in the meantime. I keep sliding off the Volvo. Yeah, we ended up going with the Miata because it was something that I already knew how to fix, and it was something I already had parts for. So we ended up getting Sheila. Let me go back in there. Yeah, it's nice. This is honestly... It's honestly a lot of fun to drive. It's got a good deal of problems. It's not super watertight at the moment, which kind of sucks. But there isn't a ton of mold growing in here, which is good. We keep it pretty clean for the most part. This is the steering wheel off the original Miata that I had. Got the master ball shift knob because we're both horrendous Pokemon nerds. But the interior is pretty nice. Biggest issue with this is that it's got a bad amount of rocker rust. I ground that down last year and got it down to bare metal and then covered it in some rust abating stuff. It wasn't POR 15, it was some rust reformer, I think it might have been Rust-Oleum, and then just hit it with a can of spray paint just to seal it all up. Same thing, I had some pretty bad rust here on the windshield frame, and I went in with that and tried to grind that down. It appears I didn't do a good enough job. This is why I love doing body work. I didn't get down enough or something. It's starting to oxidize again. Or maybe just the coat's painting off. You know, it's flaking down here. So I have to go back in and repaint that. But other than that, mechanically, the thing's fine. It's bone stock mechanically. I got a set of shocks that are going in, but the under bits are so crunchy that I've been too nervous to tackle that without having a reliable backup in the interim, because I don't want to take it off the road for too long, and the painting process and stuff for me, because my shop setup is going to be a couple of days. But yeah, that's about it. That's the fam. That's the gang. Newest car is the Blazer. It's 2002. I realized this like last week that the newest car I own is 20 years old, which isn't crazy, but makes me feel real old. And that's it. So I hope you guys stick around. I'm gonna do some stuff with the cars and talk about them a little bit more and fix a bunch of them. And I hope maybe entertain a few of you along the way. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you later.